Hi guys, Michelle here. Welcome to the Traveling Epicurean. Thanksgiving is right around the corner and I've been thinking, what's a recipe that I could share with you this week for your Thanksgiving dinner? And creamed onions comes to mind. This recipe was inspired by my grandmother. I used to love her creamed onions when I was little. I can't wait to show you how to make this. Let's get on over to that kitchen and I'll show you what we're going to need. So this is what we're going to need to make our amazing creamed onions. I have 2 bags of sweet white pearl onions. They're frozen. I have a cup of heavy cream, a half a cup, a half and half. I have a half a cup of white wine, a 1/4 cup of chicken broth. I have a small can of evaporated milk. I have a tablespoon of cornstarch and a half a cup of Emmentaler Swiss cheese. It's mild and melts really, really well. I'm gonna get the water boiling and then we're gonna put in our frozen pearl onions here and we're gonna simmer them. Look at these creamed onions. They are unbelievable. I'm gonna try a little bit of this sauce. Oh my goodness. I think that the evaporated milk in here is my secret ingredient. All those flavors come together. This is incredible. I'm gonna plate this up with some turkey. Really, really nice. This is perfect with so many different things. Beef would be great with this. You want it to be saucy because that's the whole point of creamed onions, right? To have the sauce there. I'm gonna just lay those right on top. Pretty. Wow. I'm gonna put a little bit of thyme on there. Really, really nice. You know, with cream sauce, you know what I love to do. Those who know me know I love to drizzle a little bit of truffle oil. Wow, look at that. So pretty. Oh my gosh, this is so good. And the smokiness from the truffle oil. I can't wait to have a bite. Oh my goodness. This sauce is out of this world. And those sweet pearl onions, you're gonna love this recipe. I can't wait for you to go try it. You can find it at thetravelingepicurean.com. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. Ciao! Creamed onions, and I thought, hey, we're the monkeys. Traveling Epicurean. Christmas, I was gonna say Christmas. So listen, let's get on over to that kitchen and I'll show you what we need. Hi guys, Michelle here. Welcome back to the Traveling Epicurean. Today's menu, cream spinach. When we think of cream spinach, we usually think of fancy steakhouses because they've got that dish down. Well, I'm going to show you how to make your very own homemade cream spinach. Come with me and I'll show you what we're going to need. This is what we're going to need to make our delicious cream spinach. I have 2 packages of chopped frozen spinach that I thawed. This needs to be drained. I have 1 1/4 cup of heavy cream, 3/4 of a cup of half and half. I have 1/4 cup of Reggiano Parmigiano. I have 1/2 cup of finely chopped Vidalia sweet onion, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. I'm going to start to drain all the water out of the spinach, and then we'll start to saute these onions. You have to take the pan off of the heat before you add the grated cheese. This way it melts nicely into the cream spinach. I'm going to plate up a little dish here, just like that. And then I'm going to top it with some scallops. I love scallops, especially on a dish like this. Oh my goodness, look at that. Does that look heavenly or what? Absolutely delicious. Can't wait to have a bite of this right now. Oh my goodness. This is the best cream spinach I have ever had. Thank you, Warren. A big foodie friend from California gave me this recipe about 20 years ago. His brother gave me the salmon gravlax, which you can find up at the link here. You're gonna love this recipe and it's perfect for the holidays. I can't wait for you to go make it. You can find it at thetravelingepicurean.com. Have a really great day. Ciao. Right in your own kitchen. Come with me somewhere. Back. Today's topic is cream spinach. Why? I don't know why. Well, today I'm going to show you how to make cream spinach. show you how to make some cream spinach. A few years ago was when I first tasted this amazing dessert that Kathy brought to my house for Easter. Ricotta pie is what's on the menu today. Hi, Michelle here with the Traveling Epicurean. This is my good friend Kathy, and you're going to share with us that wonderful ricotta pie recipe, right?
Yes, I'm excited to share it with you.
Now, was this your recipe or did it get handed down in your family?
This is an old family recipe from my grandma.
Oh,
my grandmother on my mother's side from Italy used to make this for us every Easter.
Oh my
So
goodness.
it's an Easter tradition.
It is.
It's a real treat. I usually only make it at Easter time, and so we look forward to it once a year.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, I can't wait to get started on this. Why don't we show everybody what we're going to need to make this pie?
Okay, so we have ingredients set out for the two steps.
Okay.
For the crust.
One for the crust.
And for the filling.
And for the filling. All right, so Kathy, these are the ingredients for the pie crust, right?
Right. Here we have 1 3/4 cup of flour.
Okay.
1/3 cup of sugar. 1½ teaspoons of baking powder. Then we have the liquid ingredients, 4 tablespoons of canola oil, 1 egg, 1/4 cup of milk, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and just a little bit of extra flour for when we roll it out.
For when we're rolling it out. Okay, wonderful. So are we going to be putting this into the mixer here?
So we'll just combine all the dry ingredients into the bowl.
Okay.
We'll just dump in the flour.
And you know what I love about the ricotta pie recipes?
Sugar.
All of the recipes out there, they're all different. And it's really very personal.
Right. I've seen it made a lot of different ways. I've noticed around New Haven that people like to put orange zest.
Yeah.
And the wheat pie. I never saw that until I moved to the Connecticut area. But we
Yeah.
make it a little bit more like a cannoli with
Sure.
with vanilla and then chocolate chips and raisins. We'll just give a quick mix to the dry ingredients,
Okay.
and then you can start adding the wet ingredients.
Okay.
So this doesn't have to mix very long at all, just until it comes together.
And you really don't want it to mix too long, right? Because it'll make it tough.
You don't want to overmix or it'll toughen up the dough.
Sure.
This is a very soft dough and it comes together very quickly.
I like that.
So that's
I love
the-
the simplicity of
It's
this.
very easy. The milk, the canola oil,
Yeah.
the vanilla, and then the egg. You could pre-beat the egg, but you don't really
You
need
don't
to.
really need to,
The
yeah,
mixer
especially-
will take care of it. We'll just mix it for probably less than a minute and it'll all come together. And this is coming together. I think that is just about done.
It looks beautiful. I love the color too.
And it has a nice sweet smell too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're just going to turn this out onto the counter?
I'm going to turn this out and I'm going to put quite a bit of flour on the surface because it is a very soft dough. Sometimes you need to add a little more
Okay.
to keep it from sticking.
For all the ricotta pie recipes that I've seen, even the dough recipes are all completely different.
Right.
It's not your standard pie recipe, your
I've
pie
seen-
crust recipe.
Yeah, but I like this because it's almost more like a cookie.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, I
sweet.
love that.
It's sweet and a little bit crispy.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's actually
nice.
my husband's favorite part of the pie. He
Is
loves
it?
the crust.
I love the crust too, absolutely. And then there are recipes that have like a crumb, like a graham cracker crumb.
Oh, right.
And I feel that sometimes that's not enough. Like I want a little bit more edging around the pie, so this is perfect.
We'll try to get a nice circle here so we can transfer it to the pan.
Beautiful.
And it's relatively thick crust.
Yeah.
It'll burn if it's too thin.
Okay.
This is maybe a 1/4 inch
Okay.
approximately. So
And I love this pie plate. Did you see this pie plate? Well, and our children are in school together, and we just did the pie contest, didn't we?
they're big fans of pie.
So they'll be so excited when they see this pie plate.
They know many digits, and this is our. This
They know
pie.
many. about 80 something.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is our cheat sheet. This is the only
That
way
was a
we
cheat
know
sheet.
if they're right or not. So they would just transfer it with the rolling pin over to the pie.
Beautiful.
That went pretty well, but we can always pinch it together here.
That looks gorgeous.
And this dough does shrink up.
Now, do you
a little
have to
bit.
pre-bake this shell?
No,
No.
we're just
okay.
going to put the filling in and bake the whole thing together.
Well, I love that explanation that the crust is more like a cookie.
It's very
Because-
much like a cookie. It's sweet and a little bit crunchy.
Yeah, and who doesn't love that? A beautiful cookie that's sweet and crunchy with your ricotta filling. Oh,
Okay.
I've died and gone to heaven.
So,
Thank you very much.
So I think that looks pretty good. I've tried to scallop it before, but this is such a soft dough that it doesn't really
Yeah.
hold the scallop shape. So.
And that's okay, you really don't need to, because you're going to be
Right.
slicing into it and you're going to have those beautiful little cutouts, the leaf cutouts on the top, right?
Right. The top makes it really pretty.
It's going to be absolutely gorgeous.
Right. Okay.
Oh,
so
good.
We can move on to the filling.
Onto the filling. Okay. So these are the filling ingredients, right?
Right. This is for the filling. We have 1 pound of ricotta cheese.
Okay.
And you can use any kind you like. Whole
Okay.
milk. This is part skim.
Okay.
But even with part skim, it's very creamy. I have made it with fat-free, and it's not the same.
Yeah, I don't think fat-free
So-
really cuts the mustard, as they
Yeah,
say.
so I think part skim is a nice compromise.
Okay.
But whole milk is extra delicious. Whole milk
Okay.
ricotta. So we have 1 pound of the cheese, and then 1 egg, a 1/4 cup of sugar. I have
Yeah.
a 1/3 cup each of semi-sweet chocolate chips and raisins, and then 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. My grandma's original recipe was just the raisins.
Oh, really?
But we decided to improvise one year and put the chocolate chips, and everyone
Yeah.
liked it a lot. So
Yeah.
it made it a little more cannoli-like.
So now you're just going to whisk
We're
this
just
by
going to
hand,
whisk
right?
everything together. There's no need to beat it. And then the order doesn't really matter.
Sure.
So there's the vanilla. That's 1 teaspoon, but you can use even more if you like.
Okay.
And then the egg. And again, you could beat it ahead of time if you wanted to, but you
Okay.
don't really need to.
Gotcha.
So just whisk it all together here. So I think that is looking pretty good. And then we'll just fold in the chips and the raisins. This is a 1/3 cup of each, but you could use more or less depending
Okay.
on what you like. And just fold it to mix. The oven is preheated to 350.
Okay.
So we'll just pour this into the unbaked crust.
Okay. That looks delicious right there. It just looks like that cannoli filling, right? I think I could probably grab a spoon and have a bite.
I know.
Well, you know, I think this is the best of both worlds, because you have the qualities of a cheesecake, yet it's not quite a cheesecake, and you don't have to go through all the work of a cheesecake.
Yes, it's not quite as sweet.
Yeah.
It has just the right sweetness, and that makes it perfect for breakfast. Actually,
Yeah. Oh,
we have
that's
it
nice.
for Easter dessert, and then the days afterward we have leftovers if there
If
are
there's any leftovers, that's the
for
key thing, though,
breakfast.
Kathy. If.
So, and that's an interesting thing about this pie is you can have it warm right out of the oven and it'll be very soft and creamy.
Yeah.
Or you can serve it at room temperature. But my family actually likes to have it chilled.
Yes,
So
I like it cold
has
as well.
It's beautiful cold. So now I'll take this little bit of dough that we reserved
Okay.
and just roll out some shapes to put on the table. And again, the dough is very soft, so you have to be a little careful when you pick them up. But we'll
Now,
cut
do
a
you
few
pick them up with a
shapes.
spatula or a
I
fork?
usually use my fingers, but
Okay.
we'll see if they get a little smushed. We can always re-roll it and do it again.
Okay.
Okay. So you can just make whatever pattern you like.
So you're just laying them on the top, and
Just
of course
laying
the
them on the
filling is
top.
going to hold them into place. It's not like they're going to sink down.
Right. The
And they
filling
just-
will rise up a little,
Yeah.
and I think I'll re-roll the scraps here and cut a couple more. Alright, okay, so it's all ready
Alright.
to go into the oven.
Into the oven.
That's it, Mom.
Yeah,
You think it looks pretty good, Jonathan?
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
it's gonna be great.
Are you waiting for it to come out of the oven and have the first slice? So you think it's done, Kathy?
I think so.
We need a drum roll. I'm so excited.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my gosh, that's
how it
beautiful.
puffed
absolutely gorgeous. Wow, look how pretty that is. That's a masterpiece. You really did a great job. Thank you so much. So now we're gonna let this cool, right?
Right.
How long do you usually let it cool for? Like probably an hour or
Yeah,
so?
about an hour.
So Gabby, this one was refrigerated for a few hours?
Right, just a few hours.
Okay.
Cut into it?
Yeah, you're gonna cut it. Okay. I can't take the anticipation, Gabby.
All right, we'll cut into it.
Oh, look how beautiful.
I hear a little bit
can
of
hear
crunch
the
there.
cookie
in the
crunch.
cookie crust.
The cookie crust.
That makes it usually pretty easy to serve.
Oh, look how pretty that is.
Oh, looks good.
Oh, that's absolutely gorgeous. That, I must say, is picture perfect. Kathy, thank you so much. You did such a great job.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yay! So you get the whole pie. Well, this pie is so amazing. I cannot wait to have a bite. Should we dig
let's
in?
try it.
Oh my goodness. That's so delicious. And I love that cookie crust. That's really, really nice.
Nice and creamy filling.
Thank you for giving me the bigger piece.
It's really good.
Really good, huh? Mm-hmm. Well, Kathy, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. I can't wait for you to go make this ricotta pie. You can find the recipe at thetravelingepicurean.com. Ciao! Say ciao. Oh, he's mom is phone. Okay, thank you so much, Kathy. Hi guys, Michelle here with the Traveling Epicurean. Today, I'm going to help you get organized for Thanksgiving. We're going to make pie crust in 5 minutes. You're going to pop it into your freezer, and then in 2 weeks, you're going to take it back out and you're going to bake a pie with me. But this way, you're making your pie crust ahead of time. So this is what we're going to need to make our 5-minute pie crust. 3 cups of all-purpose flour, a half a cup of cold water, a half a cup of Crisco that I put into pieces like this, and I put it into the freezer so it gets firm, 10 tablespoons of cubed butter, a tablespoon of sugar, and a teaspoon of sea salt. Okay, for me this is so exciting because I'm helping you to get organized for your Thanksgiving dinner. I can't wait for you to make your own pie crust you're going to be so proud of. Now, who loves desserts? The French and the Southerners. And boy, do they both do such a great job. Well, we're going to take the middle of the road and we're going to use butter, that the French love so much, and lard, a Crisco, that the Southerners love so much. And we're going to take a combination of those and make the most amazing, flaky, buttery pie crust that you've ever had. So there's a couple of steps to follow when you're making this pie crust. It's very simple. Everything must be chilled as much as possible. And then the other thing we're going to do is it's being done in the food processor. I find that this has the least amount of manhandling as possible is doing the food processor, because the more you fuss with it, the tougher that dough is going to get. And that's why we keep it cold, because it's going to be creating these little pockets of steam, and that's what's going to make it flaky, along with the Crisco and the butter and that combination. Let's get the flour in here and start making our pie crust. All right, we have 3 cups of flour. That's 1, 2, 3, a tablespoon of sugar, a teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to put the tap on and pulse this just to mix it up. And then we're gonna add the butter and the Crisco. So I added all my Crisco pieces, which I was keeping in the freezer to keep firm because it's so soft. And then the cubed butter, which I just added in. And I keep that in the refrigerator because it's already hard. All right, we're gonna pulse this about 7 times. Have the butter and the Crisco in there, and I've pulsed it about 7 times. I'm going to start running this as I add our 1/2 cup of water. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right, so let's get this on the counter. I'm gonna put down a little flour. All right, so this is coming along so nice. You saw how quickly that went. Just a couple of minutes of pulsing. I'm gonna put down a little bit of flour. When you first run the dough, when you're pouring in the water, you wanna keep it running till you first see it come together. This looks absolutely gorgeous. And then you stop it and pulse it just a couple more times until it really forms a ball. This looks really pretty. I'm gonna cut this into 2, and then I'm gonna wrap each piece because each piece is gonna be a layer of pie crust. This will be the bottom layer, and this will be the top layer. So we're gonna wrap this. I'm gonna put it into a disc form. And then you can put this into your refrigerator if you're gonna use it within the next 2 days, or you can put it into your freezer until you're ready to use it. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be putting it into the freezer. Okay guys, we did it. We made our pie crust. We're ahead of the game. We're putting these in the freezer. I could see specks of butter and Crisco in there. It's gonna make amazing flaky pie crust. So nice, and I hope I helped to get you organized for Thanksgiving, which is a lot of work. Come back in a couple weeks and we're gonna roll out this dough and bake that pie. Have a great weekend. You can find this recipe, at thetravelingepicurean.com. Have a really great weekend. Ciao.